Okay, good morning. My hair is going to be up in a ponytail, so let's just pretend like that it is right now because I don't actually have any ponytail holders down here. What is this? Okay, anyway. Okay, this is what my hair looks like right now. And this is when I have to say hi to y'all before I go get ready. Oh, first of all, this says raised on Dolly. I can't show you the bottom of my shirt because Django is back there. And if I stand up, it'll mess him up. But hopefully, I'll get to show you this shirt at some point today. My husband got it for me, and it's got a bunch of Dolly Parton songs on it. I love it so much. Anyway, I'll show it to you later. It's a brand new shirt, and I just wanted to show you. Let's talk about today really quickly. So, my husband is on his way home. We're going to be leaving here in about 10-ish minutes to go to town to check out an event that's happening. So sometimes what my husband and his people do that work with him, they pretty much take care of the people on the base. And one of their jobs is as counselors. And they are, however, the only entity on the military, the Air Force bases. They're the only ones who cannot tell anything that you say. So 100% confidentiality, no matter what it is. You can say that you're going to harm people and they can't tell anybody. Now, when I asked my husband, like, well, what if somebody comes in and says, like, I'm about to go kill myself or I'm about to go do this thing that'll hurt a bunch of people? And he said, oh, well, I can't tell anybody, but I become your best friend. And I just continually follow you around and do what I can to convince you that you need to reach out to someone else. That's never been a situation in his whole 16 years of doing this. But it's nice to have a place where the people who work here can feel safe, having somebody that they can talk to where they know no repercussions will come back to them. And it's about, let me think of an example. Okay, here's an example. It used to be a big deal if you went to somebody and said that you had anxiety or depression because it got put in your file and then you would get bumped over for promotions or for opportunities because they would be like, this person has some mental health issues. Well, to avoid getting on anybody's radar for anything, if you just had issues and you wanted to go talk to somebody, you can go talk to the chaplain because they're not going to tell anybody. It's not going on any paperwork or anything like that. So that's where this started and came from. It wasn't created as a place where somebody could come and say, I'm going to hurt myself or I'm going to hurt somebody else and you can't tell anybody. Like, it was created as a safe space. So another thing that they do is they provide for the spirituality or spiritual needs of the people. So that means that if somebody comes in, no matter what belief system it is, literally anything, and they come in the chapel and they say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I am this kind of believer, or I follow this kind of spirituality, then my husband and his people find their group, right? So they help them get where they're supposed to get. Then occasionally they do a thing where everybody who has this job, because it is a stressful job, you're constantly taking care of other people and you don't have a lot of breaks. It's a lot of, it's hard, okay? Imagine counseling in the military is hard. So they occasionally have days where they get to rest, right? And generally it's called care for the caregiver. It's actually not called that, but I like the way that sounds. And so that's what they're doing today. They are providing family events for the people who work at the chapel to hang out, spend some time relaxing, resting, and being served by somebody else instead of always serving. And so they are taking the families and the kids to the bouncy castle place this morning. Then they're feeding everybody lunch at the park that's nearby. And are they doing anything else today? Oh, and then they're also providing tickets to the state fair for anybody that wants to go tonight, right? So because we're old, we're really just going for lunch. And because Ron's not going to be here tonight for the state fair, I do not want to go to the state fair. So we are going to get there while they're still at the bouncy place so we can go in and say hi and see everybody and all the little kids. And then we're going to walk over and have lunch at the park. And then that's it. We'll be coming home and I've got my live stream. So I did most of my admin stuff. I still need to play the New York Times games and do my Get Sorted app on my phone, which I can do that as we're driving into town. Otherwise, it's just going to be coming back here and doing the live stream. Y'all, I finished Not in Love last night by Allie Hazelwood. I started and finished it yesterday. It came off hold from the library. I finished whatever I was reading, and I was like, I'm going to go finish it. And I did. I liked it. I mean, I don't know that I want to add a caveat to it other than to say I liked it. I'm going to write my review about it later today. Also, I've been tabbing this up some more. Here's where my bookmark is. I'm taking this into town with me when we go. And I read about 20 pages of Servant Maids last night on my Kindle before I started listening to the audio. So we're doing all right. My Sims game, I know you can't see behind me, but my Sims game is actually loaded up. So hopefully this afternoon during the sprints, I'm going to actually be able to play it. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But that's it. I got to go throw my hair up in a ponytail, and then we're going to be leaving. I will try to get some video today. Maybe I'll do some faraway videos of like everybody so you can't see faces and stuff. But anyway, I'll see what I can get video of today, and I'll be back when it's time to go live. Okay, we're leaving the nice park, and there are geese trying to make their way over to my car. So somebody remind me later, and I'll have to tell y'all how geese love me. And that's not true. They actually hate me. Oh, look, one of them's already spotted me. I'm going to go over here to the car, and I'm going to avoid the geese. But they're only like 4 cars away from me. Some of y'all know how I hate birds. So I'm just saying, there's a reason why. Ah! Oh my gosh.
Wrong car.
Hey, I was literally talking about the geese.
You were.
That's not funny.
That's exactly why I came up behind you.
That's not funny. I just screamed into this phone. Oh my gosh, I have chills on my whole body. They're like 2 cars away from us right now. One of them stopped and just looked at me dead in my eyes. Okay, if you joined me for my live stream today, thank you so much. I had so much fun. I got a lot of stuff read. I don't know that I got a lot of stuff done, but I got a lot of stuff read. And I just got a package in the mail. Wesley already opened one because he thought it was for him. And then he was like, I'm sad. This is a book. It's Autumn by Allie Smith. One of you guys, hold on. One of you guys recommended this series, and this is the first book. I ordered all 4 of them. I thought they were coming together, but I got this in the mail as well. And this appears to be a book. It is Winter. So I got Winter and Autumn for some reason, which is nice. Those are the first 2 that I need. But there they are, and I don't know why everything is so bright as well. But anyway, there's Autumn and Winter. And it starts in autumn. And apparently it is, here's what it says. Autumn. Season of mist and mellow fruitfulness. 2 old friends, Daniel, a centenarian, so that means somebody who's 100 years old, and Elizabeth, born in 1984, look to both the future and the past as the UK stands divided by a historic, once-in-a-generation summer. Love is won, love is lost. Hope is hand in hand with hopelessness. The seasons roll around as ever. A luminous meditation on the meaning of richness and harvest and worth. Autumn is the first installment in Allie Smith's seasonal quartet, and Cass and I over our own time. So, this one is Autumn. I'm going to try to remove Oh, no, that's an embedded sticker. Never mind, I'm not going to remove it. But then it's followed by winter. So this is all part of the hardest reading challenge, so the Her Kid, and you have to read a book that takes place in a season during that season. So I'm not reading summer, I'm going to save it for last. So I'm going to read autumn, starting in September, so I have September, October, November. And I really want to physically read this book, so I'm literally just going to break it down and spend time reading it over those 3 months of autumn. And really soak in the autumnness. And then I'll do the same thing 3 months of winter, and then I'll do the same thing for spring and summer when those books come. But there they are, right over there, which I'm excited about. Okay. What else do I need to talk about? I still have 4 Sims videos to film and 4 client videos to edit. Technically, then I need to edit the Sims videos and export and upload and all of that stuff. And that is all supposed to happen on Saturday and Sunday, just the uploading and the finalizing. But clearly that's not going to happen because I'm not going to film and edit 4 videos tonight. Well, you know what? I might. Because Wesley and I just got back from having our Mexican food. Oh my goodness, it was so good. And driving back home, though, it's 70 degrees outside, but in the Jeep with the windows open, I was cold when we got back in this house. So I'm cold right now, but like I said, it's 70 degrees, so we have the door open because it feels amazing outside. I'm sorry, I'm not bragging. Maybe I am a little. Anyway, I also have my crochet project that I started today while on the live stream. So if you didn't make it, this is a hat. This is the top of the hat, and this is the bottom of the hat, which is going to be like rolled up like this, like, you know, cuffed kind of. And it's I'm going around this way, which I've never made a hat like that before. And I'm supposed to go till I get to a certain distance, but I think I'm going to go until I run out of this. And I'm kind of close to running out. What? It's supposed to take 1 ball of this to do this. And now I feel how much is in here, and it's not very much. So I may have to switch and make this into a headband. Either way, I mean, it's going to be soft and it's going to be warm. So I may have to make it into a headband. I feel like as soon as I had the idea to do the giveaway, I've been having the hardest time actually making things that I like, that I want to give away. But that works really quickly. Like the pattern goes really well, and it's going to end up being really cool ribbed pattern. Like, I don't know how, yeah, you can see them. These ridges right here. I've never grabbed the stitch that I'm grabbing that makes for this very ridgy place right there. But I like how it looks. Okay, so I was just checking out this thing because this is all the books that I have read so far, and I'm going to show y'all a little bit of the stats. Just knowing that this is only the stat, it's going to show you the stats. I'm blocking this whole thing. It's going to show you the stats for I Was a Teenage Slasher, even though I haven't finished it yet, but I'm getting close. Anyway, this is what it looks like. Y'all, look, I get to name my own subgenres. Look at all these subgenres. And then look at all the publication years, the regular genres that all of these fell into. 30 total books read? How is that a thing? I thought I was doing less this time than 30. So anyway, we're going to look through all of these stats in an actual stat video, but I just had to show you a little preview of what it looks like. It's still only 9,000 pages. I feel like I average about 9,000 pages. So maybe I've read just a lot of smaller books this time. Jade City was 540 pages, and 11/22/63 was 800 pages by itself. I forgot that I read that in July as well. So I don't know. I've had a couple long ones. I also had a 24-page saga that I read. Anyway, I've finished all of these, so they need to be bold. Okay. And then Slasher is going to be the next one, which I will pull it up there. I'm really hoping to finish it tomorrow. I have 2 chapters left in Slasher. Let's talk about a couple of other things. So let me get big again. Alright, so this is Histocat that I got from QWERTY. And I am on page 117, and you can see my tabs that are in here. I've given each one of the characters a different color tab, so every time it's their POV, I am putting that color, and then when something significant happens to them, or something that's maybe hinting towards something else, I'm putting a tab in there for their color. So that is what this looks like for now. And I'm doing the same thing over here, only the tabs mean different things. So this is the tabs. These are the tabs so far. Why are you being so weird about it? Okay, there are the tabs across here. And what they are is the blue tabs are things about the story or things that I want to pay attention to about the story. The orange tabs are all having to do with him being a slasher. And then the yellow tabs are Stephen Graham Jones specific things. There's only a couple of those, but there's just things that he puts in every single book. And I'm like, I know, that's him. That's him. There's certain ways that he writes sentence structures that I find to be fascinating. So I've been writing down some examples of those. Not writing down, highlighting them in yellow. I did tell my husband I want him to read I Was a Teenage Slasher. So I'm hoping that he's going to pick that up. And then the other book is Servant Mage that I'm reading on my Kindle, and I really, really like it. So I am going to try to finish Servant Mage as soon as possible because that is my monstrosity book, and I would like to be able to draw and go on to the next monstrosity. In the meantime, I'm reading an audiobook called Hooked, and it looks like this, by Michael Moss. And you can't tell, but those are plates, and they have little forks and knives beside them. And it says, Food, Free Will, and How the Food Giants Exploit Our Addictions. And I have about 2 hours left in that. And it is incredibly interesting. The way our bodies work and the way our brains work with our stomachs. And I'm actually doing the section right now where it's talking about fat as an organ in your body. And the way fat cells kind of work and the information, like fat cells themselves can send out messages to your metabolism to say, hey, slow down. And also, when you lose, when people lose a bunch of weight and then they say, oh, they gain it back plus some. It's because when your fat cells, first of all, your fat cells also never go away. So even no matter what, when you lose a ton of weight, they just shrivel up. Well, anytime a shriveled up fat cell is then reinvigorated, let's say, it automatically sends blood cells, sends like some kind of radar or something that says, hey, send us some blood. And so when the blood cells then come out there, they can make more fat cells. So literally, if you lose weight and then you put it back on, you're going to gain more because the fat cells that have now plumped themselves back up are saying, hello, we would like to make more of us. Anyway, if the food addiction situation did not already make me go, yeah, that's me, then I'm just like, what? I mean, he is supposed to give us, like, here's some things that you can do to where we create a disconnect between our brain and everything else. Here's also the coolest, I don't know if coolest is the right word, but here's the most interesting statistic that I have gotten from this book so far. So when you snort cocaine, as you do, it takes 5 to 10 minutes for that drug to get to your brain. When you smoke a cigarette or smoke crack, as they have started doing, I actually don't know if you're smoking crack or if it's still cocaine. I don't know what the difference is. Excuse me for not being up on my drug lingo correctly, but whatever. People started smoking it instead of snorting it because smoking, puffing, gets it to your brain in 10 seconds. So 5 to 10 minutes versus 10 seconds, that is a no-brainer. Of course, you're going to smoke it. Number 2, that's also nicotine. Anything that you inhale, 10 seconds. Number 2, the third thing, food. Food gets to your brain in 0.3 seconds. 10 times faster than puffing on a cigarette. Actually, way more than 10 times faster. 30-something times faster. 0.3 seconds, not even half a second from when you touch something to your tongue till your brain goes, oh, I got that, and that tasted real good, and I'm going to need some more of that. Let's keep that going. So that is the thing that we are fighting against. And for some people, just like me, like I can smoke a cigarette right now today, and then I don't ever have to have another one. I can smoke a cigarette today and tomorrow and the next day, and then I don't have to have another one. Like, I never have ever craved a cigarette. There are people who can taste whatever it is, and it doesn't flare anything in their brain, it doesn't kick anything off in their brain, just like somebody who can smoke a cigarette and not get addicted to it. So, it's not an everybody thing, but there are people in our population that definitely have this issue. So I cannot wait to see what he says the solution is to this problem, because if I can convince my brain, it's got something to do with the go and the stop part of our brains, which is also two different sections of our brains that are incredibly interesting. Listen, if you just like any kind of brain study and any kind of food discussion and a brain study at the same time, you need to get this book. I think it's so good. And it was really cheap. It was on sale on Chirp Audio, and I was like, oh, I'm buying that, and it's really good. Okay, now what I'm about to do is film The Sims, edit one of my client videos, film The Sims, edit a client. Just do that till I'm tired and I'm ready to go to bed. It's already 10 minutes till 9. However, my son and I are the only 2 people in this house. Nobody is waiting on me to go to bed or anything else, so that's going to be the plan for the rest of the night. I will probably check back in before I go upstairs, just as a here's what I got done today kind of situation. And we'll see where I am and what I got done. I'll check back in later.
No, I will not check back in later. I completely forgot to check back in later, and I went to bed. So that is me saying bye. Also, I am so sorry about the audio. I promise that in tomorrow's video, about halfway through, I realize what the problem is and I fix it. This should not be an issue anymore. Thank you for being amazing and listening and watching anyway. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.